Hope this works. Think we are live. I don't know because I haven't actually got my social media up to check, but I've got a little live button top left hand corner going up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're live. We're not buffering, and we're looking pretty good. So, Mike, how are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm good. You?
Yes. Have you got a cup of tea ready?
I haven't got a cup of tea. I've already had one, so I'm all right. I don't need it.
All right. Okay. So, we obviously wanted to have a chat with you because you've recently become a funded trader, which is absolutely fantastic. So well done. I know you have put a lot of dedication in and hard work, and you've been through the grit. Let's be honest. You've been through the grit. So we wanted to get you onto an interview just to sort of spread the word and tell us a bit about your story. So do you want to tell us a bit about your background and how you got into trading? How long you've been doing it for?
Okay, so I looked at it last year. I admit it started off. I'm not going to name the names and stuff, but yeah, I did get involved in a platform which basically opened me up to forex trading. Don't do that anymore. So then last year, I started looking at it, just looking to stuff on YouTube and the home taught stuff, and then I started with a training company that so not Relentless, this was a different one, that taught me a strategy that it worked for a little bit, but the thing about that is I had to put my own money into a live account, which is £430 initially. Yeah, it's a lot. Started off well. The account went to like over £1,000, I think, within 4 months.
But you had to use their broker type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is with that is once you start seeing wins and not experiencing losses, I think you get very complacent. And then what happened then is obviously I just smashed. You start seeing the losses of like minus 100, then minus 100 becomes minus 200, 300, 400, and then before you know it, you're at minus 700. You've well gone into your initial capital. Then starts the whole revenge trading, putting more money in. Eventually, I did manage to get it back, and then I basically stopped then. And I think that's what then taught me that the strategy I was using was not that good. It was EMA crossover strategy, and if you know that strategy, you know it's using all lagging information, isn't it? And most of the time, the moves have already happened, and then it's like you're trying to chase a buy that's already occurred, and then boom, it goes into a sell. So I can't actually remember how I met you, really. I think I added you as on a mutual friend or something, and then I started tracking your posts, and I could see you getting wins and stuff, and you started posting images of the order block strategy, which is a strategy that I wanted to learn.
Wasn't it UW? You used to do UW.
I'm still a UW customer.
Maybe it's
I don't do that. No. The platform that I don't want to speak about that. Well,
yeah, we won't go into
that shall not be named. Yeah, so you were posting screenshots of the OB strategy and your results and stuff, and then I started seeing your posts for a few weeks. So in the end, I just obviously messaged you, didn't I, to start, and then I joined Relentless. I want to say the end of February, but it might have been end of January. Either way, it was the start of this year.
So end of this February.
End of this February, just gone, yeah, or January. I can't remember if it was January or February. So it's been what? That's 6 months, 5 months, 6 months?
6 months. Yeah. That's really good.
I started learning the OB strategy first, which is, it's a good strategy. It works. And then obviously came Meraki next, wasn't it? Well, I mean, that's still, well, Market Maker really next, but I'm still sort of learning that a little bit.
So when did you first get into trading? Is that from when you started seeing my posts? Or was that after you've sort of been with these other companies? How long ago did you start sort of seeing the first chart?
First chart's probably August last year.
Was it? Okay. So you're still fairly new, really, to the industry.
Yeah, I had basic knowledge basically when I came to you. In terms of, I know what the candles do. I know
Yeah,
what the some of the indicators are. I knew obviously what EMAs
yeah,
and stuff are. Um,
yeah.
yeah, Meraki's been obviously the major turning point, I think.
The Meraki method, what we teach at Relentless. Yeah, the
Yeah,
guys absolutely loving it, aren't they? Yeah, it's a really good method. It's the only method I use now personally for my trading. I know you sort of do a mixture of two, don't you? Or you sort of have your own little system going, but
yeah. Well, it's still something I'm testing, isn't it? But it has got through 2 FTMO challenges now, obviously my demo ones, and
yeah,
it's got through phase 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, it was born out of the Meraki method, but incorporating a little bit of market maker with Meraki. And
right,
basically, I think what it started off as is because when you were marking up zones and stuff, one day you were going through, we were just going through liquidity
yeah,
and how to spot liquidity. I know people watching this for the first time are not going to have a clue what I'm talking about, but basically, it's looking for areas where banks are going to be looking to return from to pick up orders from you.
yeah,
And then I started playing around and testing what is the Asia zone, wasn't it? Yeah. And then just looking for the ways to enter that and pick up the liquidity from either the Asia high, the Asia low, etc.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. So very short period of time, you've become a funded trader now. For the guys who are watching who don't have a clue about trading, can you just sort of tell us a bit about what is a funded trader and basically what do you have to do to get there?
Okay. First of all, I'm going to say it's not as hard as people think. You actually got to put a lot of effort in. You've got to,
Let's not make it too easy, Mikey. Yeah.
no, no,
Usual
no, no,
disclaimer.
but what I mean is like I think people see the stats, don't they, of 90% of traders fail and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is because there's too many people that just try trading as gambling. Too many people just try to think that they can just, make thousands of pounds overnight, or they'll just pick up a chart and press the buy button or the sell button, and they start seeing, okay, this is going well, and then the next minute they've blown their account up, etc. Whereas with a funded trader, it's learning the strategies and the methodology behind why are you actually taking those positions.
The process.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at why is the chart actually moving in that direction, and in terms of what it means, so a funded trader is basically, it's not you risking your own capital anymore.
Yeah.
Like I did last year. I put money into my own account. This is you do an evaluation, which is being made easier by the removal of like the 30-day timer, etc. That's
Massively,
gone.
yeah.
I had to do my phase 1 with the timers on. And the thing is, what you're doing is basically proving, can you actually manage an account that's got quite a substantial bit of funds in it,
Yeah, you
Can
basically
you
got
be
to prove
profitable?
that you can be a consistently profitable trader, and
Yeah.
you're not just gambling. That's basically what you've got to prove to sort of pass these tests. You've got to prove to the company that you're consistently profitable. Yeah, sorry,
And
Mike, go
also,
on.
most importantly, if you're not profitable, that you're actually managing the risks. You're not just sticking 20 lots on Euro USD and stuff like that, and not risking blowing accounts up. So yeah, gone through phase 1 and 2. So I'm still pending the actual live account. I've just signed the documents and sent them away before we came live. So hopefully that'll come through Monday or Tuesday.
I should have got your certificate to put on the screen, shouldn't I? Big pop up. Wow.
I've got it on the other one.
Oh no, it's all right. We'll go to that yet, mate. It'll take. And let's not touch technology because I can't. It does me head, and if I touch something, it'll probably explode or something.
Yeah.
So,
It's like if I,
so what Mike's saying, guys, is basically becoming a funded trader. With trading, you've got to have the more money you've got in your account, the more money you can make. Basically, Mike, isn't it? The more money you've got in your account, the more money you can make in Forex. So if you put £500 in a broker, your own money in there, right? You've got £500 to sort of trade with. You're only going to make small percentages. Maybe you'd be lucky to make 1%. 1% a day is actually a fantastic day, believe it or not.
Yeah.
The 1% on £500 is not much at all. But if you've got a large account of £100,000, 1% of that is obviously a grand. You know, that's why us at Relentless, we push going down to getting the funded route. So you're using somebody else's capital instead of your own money.
It's a lot less risk as well. Let me think about it. If you're putting £500 of your own money into an account, I mean, so my account was for the first one now, because obviously I'm going to be going for a second account. So the 20 grand that I've got, I think it only cost, was it something like £90 or something like that, if that, and I get it back refunded anyway because I passed. So it's not cost a penny.
Well, that's it, because a lot of companies are out there and they say, go and put £500 into their broker. So then what happens is they then click a bit when you lose or when you win, they'll click a bit. That's why they specifically want to use their broker. A lot of signals are like that as well. So you've got to be careful with signals if the companies are wanting you to use their brokers. And that's how it works. With those, you come on, the only money you pay is for the education. Basically, that is it. Until you're ready to go for the challenge. And we have a step-by-step system where it tells you if you're ready. It's basically passing the 2 demos. Passing the 2 demo challenges, which is for free. And then what happens, you tend to be ready for the challenge. You tend to pass the challenge, which is the paid challenge, where you pay for the test. Once you pass it and you prove to them you're consistently profitable, they'll then fund you with a large amount of money. Just going back to that though, Mike, you just followed the process really, didn't you, at Relentless? You passed 2 demos, didn't you, in a row?
I failed the first demo, and then I passed one, but then I failed another one. So I didn't pass 2 in a row. And then I just started tweaking things. That's when, obviously, like I said, when we started looking at liquidity. And then I think that just sort of set a light bulb off. And then before you knew it, I passed the 2 FTRO ones. And then the phase 1 actually went really well because I passed that. Because obviously you get 30 days to do phase 1. And I think I passed that on day 12. And that was even with, I missed the first 2 days of trading because, sorry, not the first, second 2 days. So I've traded day 1, day 2, and then I missed day 3 and 4 because I was at work and I don't really like trading on my iPad. Then I passed it on day 12, so it was only a total of 10 days worth of trading for phase 1. Yeah. Phase 2 has been a bit slower because the mindset shifted from, I think because you get 60 days, well, you don't get 60 days now. I know the timers are gone, but when I started it, it was 60 days. So the mindset was all about just protecting capital, really. And doing it that way, it was slower, but it's hard to explain it. I just found it more comfortable. And then, of course, last Tuesday, we had that bloody big news from the G20 summit, which, God, I was lucky with. Because obviously I only had 0.25% risk up, but but we had that 100 pip movement in 2 seconds, which thankfully I didn't have a high risk up, so I only lost 1%. But that could have been a disaster, but it wasn't, thankfully.
Yeah. So now that you're funded, so how's this sort of going to affect your life and your family's life? What is it you sort of want from it?
Well, the thing is, so obviously the job I do is quite physical. I'm a wind turbine technician offshore. That's what I normally do. Well, as in that's my job. But we all age. We all will get unfit at some point.
Not me.
A day will. Well, yeah. Don't you just trade full time now anyway?
Yeah, that's all I do now.
So the thing is that so there will come a point where you've got to look at something else. This creates a really good supplementary income. And for me, it's more about just retirement. Like, I know I'm only 38 now, but I've still got a good, I would think 25 years left. But the thing is, I don't really want to try and survive just solely on my pension. With this, I'm at home in front of the computer. Doesn't matter if I've got a bust leg, I can still sit in front of the computer, and just make my own money from here. So it's going to go towards paying some stuff off and making things a bit more comfortable.
It's that time freedom. I mean, on TNS this morning, we got in a trade at 8:05 and we were done by 8:30. And then it's my anniversary as well, so it's good because I need to be done today quite early. So it's like that was fantastic. And that's what trading does. Me personally, I like to be done by 10, 11 o'clock. I like to be done. So then I've just got that time freedom for the rest for my family, do what I want to do. And that's what I mainly wanted. Obviously, the money is better and it really helps it.
What you've got is what I'm aiming for, because the thing with the 20 grand account now is that when I get the first payout, I'm just going to use that then to go for obviously a much bigger account. Like what is it you've got? 200s?
100Ks.
Yeah. So that's probably my longer term goal, is to try and get to bigger accounts. I mean, don't get me wrong, 20 grand's a really good account anyway. I mean, if you're doing 10% of that a month, that's still 2 grand.
Definitely is. Yeah. Okay, mate. Cool. Obviously, I'm conscious of time because these videos can't go on for too long because they do drag out quite a bit. So, next question then. Basically, I just want you to talk about how you feel that Relentless has helped with this whole process. And would you recommend it to others, basically?
Yeah. In terms of recommend, yeah. So, well, first of all, right, this is a really big thing that I found with Relentless is with other companies that I sort of looked at initially, they start charging astronomical amounts for one-to-ones, whereas I've done 3, 4 one-to-ones. I've never had to pay any extra for it.
Yeah.
The support group that we have in terms of other traders like myself in there, to be able to talk to. Obviously, there's yourself and Vicky and stuff. And I've done calls with Vicky as well. And the biggest thing is that everything's kept so simple. You look at the you look at the training videos and stuff, and like an entire course, I think, is like no more than a few hours, is it? Maximum.
Yeah. It's small 6-7 minute videos, all broken down. In the right order. That's the key point. 2 things we wanted to bring: simplicity and in the correct order. Because what I found is, if you have 2 steps ahead and you learn something what's a bit more advanced, it can put you back a week, a month, whatever. Everything's got to be in the correct order. That's why the unique teaching system, what we've got here, it obviously works. But yeah.
And do you know what? From experience, what I would say to anyone new looking to start is, I think the hardest part for me, right? Because you asked what's Relentless done for me, right? So obviously I came to Relentless already with some prior knowledge, etc. But I actually think that that's a little bit of a disadvantage to someone new, because effectively I've had to learn how to block out different pieces of information. And if I'm looking at a chart, I might see something that might have lined up with something I was doing 6 months ago. Whereas someone new wouldn't have that. They don't have to try and juggle their brain about in terms of knowing what information they should be looking at, what information they shouldn't be looking at. They just come to Relentless and just learn that strategy. That's it. That, to me, I think is a massive advantage than if you just think, oh, I'm just going to teach myself. I'll just go on YouTube. I'll watch a couple of Lux Algo videos and stuff like that, or trade and plan videos. because you end up with a scattergun approach of so much information in your head that you just end up confusing yourself, you know. Whereas if you with Relentless, just learning the one strategy, you've only got one thing to concentrate on. Most people are doing the same thing, so you've got plenty of people to be able to ask for their support, and most importantly, you've got access to yourself and Vicky to get one-to-ones when you need it.
Yeah.
So
I think, yeah, what you're saying is absolutely right, and that's what the issue was in the industry. Obviously, I've been with a lot of other companies as well, and what I found exactly the orders wasn't the order of what people had to learn wasn't correct. I don't think personally, but also it wasn't simplified enough. And what you say there, I get messages all the time, as you can imagine. People say, "I'll just watch YouTube." You can probably find everything you need to learn on YouTube, but the issue you've got is if you don't learn that information in the correct order, it'll just blow your head off. That's what I've found, and I think that's why it works at Relentless, because everything's in the correct order. What you learn, and with what you're saying with no experience, you're absolutely right, because people get bad habits. It's better to come to Relentless with no experience whatsoever, because then you've got no bad habits. That's what we'd actually prefer. People come, no experience whatsoever, then we obviously take you through the system, and we don't have to wipe out all these bad habits what you've had from trading prior. So what you're saying is spot on. So great. So you would happy to recommend Relentless to others. That's fantastic. In regards to your process, what's been your biggest difficult hurdle to go over? There's a one for you.
Right, okay.
G20 Summit news.
Well, actually, that's kind of what I was going to look at, and that is okay. I think the biggest breakthrough was back testing for myself. You know,
Right.
I think, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, as in getting to that point where I'm not reliant on you.
Yeah.
Because was it? I can't remember what week it was. Last week or the week before. I was approaching the chart from something different. I got a win. Unfortunately, others didn't. I didn't like that really, but do you get what I mean? Like, I don't come to you and look at you as like a signal provider, you know?
Yeah. And that's the best way, and that's probably the reason why you've done
the other big thing was experiencing the losses. That slippage thing was actually quite a big thing, because obviously you have that slippage and it could have been bad. But what it did do is allow me to basically give me a bit of a boot up the back end to actually go and look at the upcoming news that day. Because what I should have done with that G20 day is I shouldn't have traded that day at all, because that G20 thing was going on all day. It was across most of the markets, including what I trade, which was gold that day. But even normally I trade US 30 quite a lot as well, and that was majorly impacted by it as well.
Yeah. But that was a sign,
now,
right?
Yeah.
It's a sign just to actually just be aware news is about. You always check the news. Just reminding you.
Well, the thing is, I did check the news on TradingView and my FX book, but it just wasn't on there about the G20 thing. But it was on Forex Factory, so now I've made it part of my routine that I check Forex Factory before I even open TradingView.
Yeah. No, that's great, mate. Okay, cool.
And also, recommending Relentless. Obviously, there's something big coming August the 9th, which is going to majorly help new people.
Ooh, he dropped one there. Dropped a bit of sauce there. Ooh.
I'm not saying anything more.
Well, I actually wasn't going to say no on this, but yeah, on the 9th, guys, 9th of August, we've got something really fantastic coming. So if you're a member, or even if you're not a member, We've got a call going out. There should be a link flying about on social media. Get signed up. Jump on the call. So, Mike, before I wrap it up, anything else you want to add?
No, just apologies. You can see the wife walking around in the background.
Hey, it's a live stream, isn't it? It's a live stream. Okay, mate. Lovely. We're on 25 minutes now, so we'll have to start wrapping up. I just want to say, the time you've been with us, you've been great. Very active in the group. You've literally just followed the process, and you can see that obviously you're getting rewarded now. So well done for your dedication, your discipline, your interaction. It's been fantastic. So well done, mate. Well deserved. In regards to the people watching the stream, if you'd like to get involved with Relentless, we're not an MLM. It's literally just a subscription basis for the education.
No MLM, no bloody affiliate commissions, none of that crap. No going recruiting your uncle and your friends and Uncle Bob with the pizza egg from Canada and that stuff. No recruiting, thank God.
Yeah, just get on.
Trading.
No bull. Literally down to the trading, because that is actually, believe it or not, that is where the real money is, actually the trading. I'll drop a link below, my link tree. You hit the link. There's membership, getting the free Discord, stuff like that. There's loads of info on there. Anyway, okay, lovely. Right, fantastic to speak to you, Mike. Congratulations, well done. Have a nice weekend break, and then back on the charts next week then.
Yeah, see you later.
All right, cheers for watching, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.